And welcome back to New Day. You're still live on TV3. We're going to talk about important things, that bothers, especially women. In fact, spouses in general, really. That about 30 years ago, Ghana enacted the PNDC Law 111, which sought to, give rights to widows and spouses on, the rights to the inheritance or inheritance of persons, who fail to make will before they died. The customary law gave an equal access to those. Today we have made progress, and I'm happy to introduce in our studio to talk more on the discussion, because yesterday, if you were on social media, remember the Gender Ministry has already started the dialogue, which will happen I think on Wednesday today. But yesterday, they engaged the media as well, and a lot of people got to speak extensively on it. I have in the studio Miss Juliana Abekwe, who is at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection Assistant Program Officer. Good morning and welcome to the show. Also, Miss Edna Kuma, Executive Director of the African Women Lawyers Association. Madam, good morning and welcome. What does the day mean to you? I mean, this landmark, what does it mean to you, first of all?
As a ministry in charge of women and children, it is an important day for us, because we are using the day to assess 30 years of an important law which was enacted to help widows and children. Because without the law, you realize that in the olden days, when a woman married, she neither belonged to the husband's family or her family because of the matrilineal and the patrilineal system of inheritance. So when the spouse or when the man dies, she had no inheritance.
30 years ago, it was a novelty, and a lot of women benefited from it.
Okay, for a lot of people, I remember well, not so long ago, but a lot of people thought it was a law for women. It was a law to protect, yes, women. It's against men because obviously because widows were those who were affected. Whenever your husband died, you had no right to anything that he did. So how has it really held?
Because it's a uniform law. Sure. All the laws in Ghana are unique. They are uniform. It's not biased. So when the woman died, the spouse, because the law said spouse, not man or woman. Sure. So either way was supposed to enjoy the benefits under the law. So men benefited, women benefited, children also benefited.
But would you admit that a lot of it was against women?
Yes, a lot of it was against women because they were dependent on the men then. And a lot of men died and property went to the family, and the women and children were left out there kind of undefended, unprotected. And it was so obvious. So, and the women and children were left out on their own. So it was very obvious that it was a very bad issue. So the law came to rectify that situation. Okay,
for the ministry, how do you use your ministry, whether in terms of, as a platform or educating women of this law? To utilize the PNDC Law 111.
One of the main functions of our ministry is advocacy. We also do champion some of these legislations. We work with CSO to enact this legislation. So we usually advocate, we go around, we educate women a lot. We educate the populace on this kind of laws. When this PNDC Law 111 was enacted, I wasn't around, but I know that,
I like that.
In 2009, sure, when the amended bill was in process, I was doing my national service with the ministry then. I remember Auntie Edna and a group of people came to Ho and educated us on the interstate succession bill. So that is what we do. We educate people on it, and then we do a lot of advocacy. We work with the media, we work with traditional authority so that they will know about it. We work with a lot of people. We talk to them, we show them what is in the bill. This and this and this are the things you can enjoy from the bill. Okay. So we do that.
What excites you most about the law?
You mean the PNDC law?
Yes, yes.
Yes, what was exciting was that children and spouses were entitled to the property of the deceased. Okay. Hitherto, the successor took everything, and some of them were given days to leave the house acquired by their deceased spouse or their father, But when the law came into being, they were enjoying it.
Okay.
They had access to it, and they were not to be, ejected, as it were. And you could report to the police.
Okay.
Because
I
anybody...
I know families, the traditional leaders had a role to play, you know, back then.
Oh, yes. And you're supposed to live in the house, your
Sure.
father's house on good behavior. And you were given time, and they would come and move the fridge, and they would lock the door. And I mean, it was a very bad situation. But the law came and stopped all that. Yes. Of course, people are still doing it with impunity, but the law, to a large extent, had put a stop to that.
The law means court.
Yes, in a way. The law means the law has...
It means, yeah, but it means
But to
court,
enforce it,
litigation,
yes.
to enforce it, yes. How prepared are the women to go the full horse on this one?
We've done, as she said, we've done a lot of advocacy. So a lot of the women are aware. And they had to go to the court. I mean, immediately, you had the right to report to the police station.
Sure.
And the police will come, and they were doing the right thing. They will stop the family from meddling in the property and driving away the spouse and children. So that was a step. And then when they went on, the family members were doing the wrong thing, then you have to go to court and enforce your rights under the PNDC law 111.
Okay. Well, this dialogue, just tell me more about the dialogue, the gender dialogue that you're going to have now. What exactly is it supposed to do or to unearth?
The gender dialogue is happening on the 8th of March, and we are going to use the period...
Well, that's next week.
Yes,
Sure.
that's like Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's also International Women's Day. by the
Yes,
way.
yes, it's true. Yes,
So
absolutely.
It's a very important day.
Sure.
So we are going to assess 30 years of the interstate succession law. And, you know, we are bringing on board seasoned panelists. They are into law, they are into sociology, traditional rulers, to discuss how the law has fared these 30 years. And in that bid, we wish to develop ideas and strategies to better help widows and children in their inheritance rights, because we have realized that the PNDC law still has some gaps, and that is why the new bill is in Parliament now, the amended bill is in Parliament now. So we are going to use the period to assess all this and then come up with new ideas and strategies to help widows and children who are main focus when it comes to the law, this particular law.
Okay, and I'm glad you mentioned about the gaps in the existing law, that regardless of the fact that it is there are still wrong things that are being perpetuated. So what is it that you want addressed, or what would the new bill address?
Law was, because 30 years ago, certainly there would have been a lot of things coming up, and the law didn't provide for polygamous marriages.
Sure.
And then for dependent or school-going children,
Sure.
and for parents. I mean, the margin was so small. And then basically for properties that were jointly acquired, you know, there were some gaps. And then the fraction, they said 1/3, 1/5. It was a
How
problem
do you
for
determine that?
So the law has seen to all that, and the amendments are so many. So that's why the Attorney General's Department with the Ministry of Gender is supporting this bill in Parliament to bring a new law altogether. And it's been there since 2009, and we've been pushing and pushing. And if it doesn't pass this year, that means to go back to the Attorney General. That'll be the 3rd time.
But what is delaying it?
Parliament.
Why?
We've been here
Because there are lots of men in
we were
Parliament.
here
There are just 29 MPs in Parliament, women MPs in Parliament. It's not a
We've been here on this platform so many times to air to the public. We've been to all the, most regions with parliamentarians and stuff.
They don't consider it serious?
Wow, I think you have to ask Parliament that question. I can't answer for them.
But how does that frustrate? I would imagine it would frustrate you.
It's
your
frustrating
work.
because we started this journey in 2009 and it wasn't passed. It went back to the ministry. They had to pass it through the cabinet. It came back to Parliament and it's back again. If it's not passed before the end of this year, that means to go back, and it has to go back. It's a process. And it's so long, and women have been waiting. I mean, we've done so much advocacy. The women are aware. The whole public is aware. We don't know why it's delaying.
How do you think the dialogue that you're having next week Tuesday would change anything? And then we'll wrap up.
Like I mentioned earlier, most of these platforms are used for advocacy.
Sure.
And that's one of the main things we do. And you know, the more you talk about something, the more you elect people on it, the more people get to know how serious you are, you want to have the thing done, and then they tend to do it for you. So I believe that as we are using 8th of March, which is International Women's Day,
Yes, I know.
To talk about 30 years of interstate succession bill, interstate succession law,
yeah.
the PNDC law, sorry. I'm sure our parliament
we'll take it serious.
Yes.
All right.
So.
A big thank you to you, Ms. Edna Kuma, Executive Director. Is it Mrs.? Ms. Edna Kuma, Executive Director of African Women Lawyers Association, and also Ms. Juliana Abekoye, Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection Assistant Program Officer. Thank you very much. And parliamentarians, you must pass that law because we're all want to, be protected by that law.